guess that's the thing, if you don't know how to work on or fix a motorcycle, you go to the owner's manual. Go to the owner's manual. And if you don't know how to fix life, or you have problems with life, you gotta go to the owner's manual. Some people call that the Bible.
The stone that the builders rejected has become chief cornerstone, my cornerstone. This is the day that God has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Blessed is the one who comes. Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. We bless you from the house of the Lord. Bind the festival sacrifice with cords to the horns of the altar. God has given his light. He's given us light. All that Israel say, his love is forever.
Hey, you guys!
Israel say, his love is forever. Let the house of Aaron say, let all those who fear God say, all that Israel say, his love is forever. Let the house of Aaron say, let all those who fear God say.
The Bible. I think one of the things that we find out in the Bible is empowerment, authority, and freedom. This is why most of the world throughout time and throughout history has done everything it can by the power it has been invested with to take away the authority of the Bible, the empowerment of the Bible, which gives us the strength to believe in freedom, liberty, and equality. Have you ever read the Bible? I know there's been many times in my life where I look at the Bible, and now, probably every home in America has a Bible, and you look at it, and in your heart, I don't want to give it no time, right? I believe in Jesus, and I'm good. And for a lot of my life, that's what I believed, that, you just believe in Jesus, and he's your Savior, and you're good to go. Happiness forever after, right? You go on down the road of blessings and beauty and those things. But then I came to realize, the kingdom of Jesus Christ, as he says, seek first the kingdom. So there's this kingdom. And a kingdom is made up of many people, and a kingdom has a ruler, and there's rules that govern over that kingdom or those set of peoples. So it's like bigger than myself. It's a huge kingdom made up of many people. Same way as we see God using each one of us as a living stone, building us up together to be the body of Christ. Jesus being that head yet. Living in this world, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I remember, and I'm struggling with this now as I'm working on marrying a person from outside of the United States and trying to figure out how to get that done so we can come together and be together, and finding out in that how animal-like I feel. And I think that's one of the reasons in the United States in 1960s they outlawed the Bible, talk of God. And I don't care if you want to put the Quran, the Bible, and Hinduism, and Buddhism, and all forms of all known gods, and allowing people to not only talk about it, debate about it, think about it, and wonder, is it real? Could it be real? Because it's been a part of the fabric of society, the fabric of humanity, since the very beginning of time. As we know, writings from Gilgamesh going back thousands of years, the Bible going back thousands of years. Other writings, we can go to the Egyptian writings going back thousands of years, and seeing that God, knowledge of God, talk of God, is a part of humanity. If humanity, it's just a part of it. Some of us agree with it, some of us believe in it, some of us do not agree with it, some of us do not believe in it. Yet it is a part of humanity, and it's a part that's never going to disappear. And it's good to talk about it. Because what I found out in our seek to marry my wife, which we are already married, and according to the authority and the law and which governs over us, is we are citizens of Christ's kingdom. We are citizens of heaven. And the law that governs over us says that marriage between a man, a woman, and that vow taken between a man, a woman, and God is concentrated as holy. That's holy, and it's okay, and God validates that and says, it's good, I accept the vow. Now this comes through righteous, honest heart of genuine love for two people, and there's millions of us out there. And yet there's people on earth that say, no, only thing that has value is your name written on a piece of paper, my piece of paper, or whoever piece of paper, the government's papers. And they prevent people from traveling country to country and marrying one another, loving each other, knowing each other. I mean, this is the power of the internet, as we have broke down the walls, guys. The walls. Now, there's people who see the walls being broke down and say, well, we'll build a bigger, stronger wall. And yet it's always, what? I don't understand it. And I struggle because what I don't understand is, how is it you have convinced me for 30-some years that not only am I not a human being, I'm an animal here by chance? How'd you convince me to believe that? Well, and it started at school, because without God, there's no soul. And then there's no soul, there's no accountability. I mean, you could do any of the most vilest acts in the world. If you're just an animal here by chance and you have no soul, and after you are put to death, the end of you just blink out into darkness and it's gone. Never to be seen or thought of again. Just gone. Yet if God exists, if the afterlife exists, if heaven exists, then there's accountability. This is why in the United States of America, a lot of the new millennial people don't recognize or see accountability. And what has removed their want, their need, or the desire for accountability? There's no God. no God, no soul. And me as an American finding out, the power of when you put your name on their paper, how all of a sudden they own you and control over you. I remember standing there right inside the Arapahoe County Courthouse and talking to the lawyer as I was working on getting a divorce from a former marriage, which is a long story, and in that I was trying to do something good for someone else, and they burned me good on that, and still paying the price, the punishment of that lie, believing in a lie, and allowing myself again to be deceived. And there's power in that punishment, but I want to get into that story right now. I'll bring it to you another time. But the lawyer says, because my testimony, my witness, meant nothing. And he didn't care what I had to say or what my testimony or my witness, my experience was. He only cared about the letter of the law. And you signed that paper. And I said, well, if marriage is a vow between a man and a woman and God, why are you even involved in our business? Why don't you just allow it to be dissolved, as that's our desire? It's none of your business what our desires are. No. You signed our paper. You didn't marry that lady, you married the state when you signed that paper. You forfeited your God-given rights. And the man said right to my face, if you believed God, if you believed in Jesus Christ, you would have never put your name on that piece of paper. That's what the guy told me. And that was very eye-opening at that time. Very shocking. It was a realization. It was, I changed the way I think and feel. And then when I talk about Jesus and that kingdom living, and us being a part of the kingdom of Jesus Christ, being a citizen in his kingdom, living under the authority and the rulership of that. And then how I have through my life, and all of us, not just me guys, all of us, just like sell out to the authority of men, people. I give greater weight and authority to people, my name on a piece of paper, them saying that, that's all the value and worth you have in this world is your name on our paper, which says we own you. You no longer have the ability to make decisions for yourself. We make the decisions for you. That's ownership. That's like a slave. So a slave says, I want to build myself a house. And no, you cannot build yourself a house. You have to live in my house, the house I built for you. And by the way, it's a shack out in the middle of nowhere. No running water, no toiletry, none of that. You can only eat the food I serve you. And I decide what you eat. You cannot freely choose to be a vegetarian. You have to eat my food. Even if I decided to give you wine and whiskey for breakfast, fill you full of drugs and alcohol, that's your food. So when I read the Bible, I find this empowerment, this authority, which is given to me as God says, I welcome you into my kingdom. Wonderful Father, I'm glad to be a part of your kingdom again. It's never too late to rededicate our lives to Jesus Christ. Refocus and rededicate our lives to the kingdom of Christ, which is made up of many people. We're a part of that kingdom. And if you're not, I pray that you would come to this free invitation. You're welcome to live within this kingdom, the power and the authority that rules and governs over that kingdom. Inside it, it says we have rights. We have human rights. We have the right to live with dignity. In this Bible, I see genocide, murder, violence, hatred, theft, adultery. Every sin imaginable made by or done by a human being right here. And that's what I see in it. But I also see Jesus Christ in it. And how Jesus Christ stands up for the rights of all human beings. You see, there's a word on earth, and that word was human being. What is an earthling? What is a human being? Jesus Christ came into the world to define that word. I'm going to bring the definition of that word, bring it up, bring it out, present it to you so that you cannot deny that's what it means. The words describe something. All words are put in our language or part of language in order to describe something, whether it's our experience, our witness, our wants, our desires, our dislikes, our likes. It's all part to describe something. That's why we have language. What describes, what defines humanity? And Jesus Christ comes to show us and define that all people, even the least of what people are, all people are created equally in the image of God. Jesus Christ, being the Son of God, comes into earth to take on that image. Because it is the image of the human being. That's Jesus Christ. And if we can't see Jesus in the least of what humanity has to offer, whether it be the lepers, the cancer, people covered in AIDS and HIV or whatever disease this world has presented to us that we can't overcome. Blindness, being deaf, crippled. If we can't see Jesus in the least, we certainly will never see him in the greatest. Later in life, there's this black man, Martin Luther King Jr. He came into the world to define for the world what color is a human being. And we clearly found out human beings are colorless. That's why we don't know what Jesus Christ looked like. That's why it doesn't say, Jesus Christ, that man with the curly hair, beautiful dark black skin, walking through Jerusalem. Or that man with beautiful blonde hair, blue eyes, walking through Jerusalem in his shiny white skin. Or red skins, or yellow skins, or whatever skins we want to look at. But the context of the man's character that dwells within his own heart That's a human being. The human being is the content of that person's character, which dwells within their heart. And that defines who they are. That defines us. And those who care and love and cherish the human beings and the rights of human beings. The rights to be born, to live, and to die with dignity. That's a decent right that should be given to every person, whatever that means. Sometimes I feel like my dignity is taken away when I had to bow down to the rulers of this world. And look at how what does the law protect? What does the Constitution even protect? Which people does it protect? And it says, we the people of the United States. Who are those people? Where are they? What do they look like? Which ones? Do I have the right to marry anybody I want to? And if I have that right, is it your right to tell me which one I can't or cannot or can marry or be with? Or where I want to live or don't want to live? What food I want to eat or don't want to eat? Do I have the right to make decisions for myself, for my own well-being? And should my well-being hurt your well-being? Because in all of it, I can't see a greater need on the earth than people to start loving one another in the very way that they wished and desired to be loved. I wished and desired to live my life with somebody for the rest of my life, every day until we die. Whether we get in fights and arguments, I want to fight and then make up. I want to forgive. I want to take that criticism on and look into myself and say, I want to love you more. I want to get sick together. Ensuring that person that I love, that somebody will be there for you every day. And sure, I want to feel that. Don't you want to feel that? That comfort in knowing that somebody loves you and that they're going to be there for you every day. Should we be denied that right? What defines a human being? What defines us? And is it okay to believe God? Because I also see in the Bible that the people who believed God took on that authority, rulership, governing power, and said, I'm going to live here inside this kingdom. They were treated really badly. Many of them martyred. Murdered for believing it. I hate world, I hate life where justice it doesn't exist, when righteousness doesn't exist. What's the right thing to do as people? Many people in America think that if we gave health care to everybody, including yourself, myself, everybody, had access to health care and medicine, that's bad. You stopped allowing people to steal elderly folks' homes, robbing them. You get sick, go to the doctor without health care. You can go to the doctor, but you don't have health care, they take your home. You lose everything. And why can't we just go? Why don't you want to go to the doctor? And if you do want to go to the doctor, is it okay if I go too? Can I go too? I think that's all that anybody's asking. Yeah, you can go. I just want to go too. But that power of putting your name on somebody's piece of paper and relinquishing all your rights. Same way insurance companies, doctors. Sign our piece. We will not do any medical work on you unless you sign this piece of paper. And the paper says you signing away your rights. You must do everything we tell you to do. And we can treat you any way we see fit. But we make the decisions. And why? Why do you have to surrender your rights? To be a free human being, to be a free thinking human being, to be, who cares about your well-being more than you? Is there anybody? Maybe your wife? Maybe your husband? I struggle with. I'm a citizen of one kingdom, but I'm constantly having to bow down to the wicked forces of another kingdom, which, it's like, which kingdom am I in? And is my king okay with me surrendering to the authority of a foreign kingdom? I struggle with that. I'd like to read you Psalm 40. I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined to me and heard my cry. He drew me up from the pit of destruction, out of my miry bog, and set my feet upon a rock, making my steps secure. He put a new song in my mouth, a song of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. Blessed is the man who makes the Lord his trust. And that's the thing in the United States. We have the great, slogan. It was written on all the money. In God we trust. In God we trust. Yet the very teachings of Jesus Christ is, if somebody asks for your coat, give them the coat and your shirt as well. If somebody asks, if we're going to trust in God, we're going to trust in the teachings of God. He says, never turn away anyone who asks of you. Is that what I got to do? Is they're asking for basically my gonads to... Do I just give it to them freely? And Jesus says, if they slap you on the face, give them the other cheek. If they steal from you, Don't ask for it back, and don't count them as a criminal. Just let them have it. If they steal my freedom, if they steal my good name, if they steal my dignity, if they attack the good character that dwells within the content of my heart, what about that, Lord? He says, make me your trust. Blessed is the man who makes the Lord his trust, who does not turn to the proud, to those who go astray after a lie. The proud who go astray after a lie. Who are the proud? Who are the most boastful? Who loves to brag? And what do they boast in? What do they brag in? Home of the freedom? Home of the brave? Home of the righteous? Home of justice? Home of liberty? The home of happiness? The pursuit of it? And I think when people are most happy, when they're most happy, they're freely making wise decisions about their own well-being, what's best for them. And I think that could be different for anyone. But in that, if we're looking out for our best, for our own well-being, what's preventing us from believing somebody else is also worthy of that same quality or right? The right to be born, I'm here. The right to live with dignity. Don't I have the sound thinking mind to be able to make a wise decision about which wife, which woman I want to live the rest of my life with? Doesn't she have that gift as well? Sometimes I wonder if the pride, that proud, comes from believing that power of that paper, that power of your name written on that piece of paper, and how they boast over that over you. How they oppress you with that. Same people who remove God and the Bible and all thought of God from schools, from children, also reject and violate our constitutional rights as human beings. You have multiplied, O Lord my God, your wondrous deeds and your thoughts towards us. None can compare with you. I will proclaim and tell of them. Yet they are more than can be told. In sacrifice and offerings you have not delighted, but you have given me an open ear. Doesn't delight or take pleasure in sacrifice. Maybe sacrificing his authority for the sake of somebody else's authority. Saying that the power of man is greater than the power of God, and that in that, who truly owns the power? Because we have to go to them before we can come to each other. We had to ask permission. And we're always surrendering to that. I will proclaim and tell them, yet they are more than can be told. The goodness of God, the love of God. You know, that's the thing with Jesus Christ, is The answer is, right? I'm going to put my trust in the Lord. The answer is, Dave, I have forgiven you. Right? Is that what it is? Is Dave, I've forgiven you for surrendering your life, your rights to a foreign agent when you didn't have to. But I did it for the sake of love. Love. Burnt offerings and sin offerings you have not required. Then I said, behold, I have come. In the scroll of the book it is written of me. I delight to do your will, O my God. Your law is within my heart. His law is within our heart. Honor our fathers and our mothers. We should honor wisdom, the knowledge of knowing right from wrong. We should honor our forefathers who lost their lives standing up for your rights to be a human being. Our mothers and our fathers, our parents, the elderly, not cutting their Social Security funds, but seeing to it they're taken care of during those times of need. And that's honorable. That's honorable. We see today people that we believe that an honorable person stands during the national anthem. But Jesus says an honorable person believes and lives by the creed that defines them. I have told the glad news of deliverance in the congregation. Behold, I have not restrained my lips, as you know, O Lord. I have not hidden your deliverance within my heart. I have spoken of your faithfulness and your salvation. I have not concealed your steadfast love and faithfulness from the great generation. As for you, O Lord, you will not retain your mercies from me. Your steadfast love and your faithfulness will ever preserve me. Ever preserve me. And isn't that what God's desire is? Preservation? Deliverance? Love? Comfort? For who? For the least. If we can't love and protect the least of the people, who can we protect? Who can we care for? For evils have encompassed me beyond number. My iniquities have overtaken me, and I cannot see. They are more than the hairs of my head. My heart fails me. Now, I totally get what he's saying in this here psalm. Be pleased, O Lord, to deliver me. O Lord, make haste to help me. Let those be put to shame and disappointed altogether who seek to snatch away my life. Let those be turned back and brought to dishonor who delight in my hurt. Let those be appalled because of their shame who say to me, ha ha! But may all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. May those who love your salvation say continually, great is the Lord. As for me, I am poor and needy, but the Lord takes thought for me. You are my help and my deliverer. Do not delay, oh my God. And I can feel it. I understand it. It's almost like puts people in a spot to where when injustice and unrighteousness and evil and wickedness is ruling the land, we want to take it upon ourselves to enforce justice, to bring righteousness to a people who know nothing about peace and love. So we say, oh God, come and deliver me from the hand of the evil one, from the hand of the liars, from the hands of our enemies which surround us and are counted more than the numbers of our hair. Yet the tender mercies of Jesus Christ come to us while we were stuck in sin, stuck in the mud, unable to defend ourselves, unable to fight for our own rights. Yet we trust in God. My trust is in the Lord's deliverance. He will come. Jesus Christ is coming, and He's coming soon. I know He's coming, and I trust in you. I trust in it. And I'll do anything I can to get together with my wife, because I know the steadfast love of God will pardon me. Because what I do for the sake of love. I want to love another person the same way I wish to be loved. And I choose Kero Tenji, my dearest wife. I love her. Trust in God. All of us. Let us trust in God. And you'll be blessed. You'll be blessed. I'll see you next time.
It feels so hopeless, treading through the mud, crying to heaven to lift me up. You heard me and you set me free. Look into the eye of my enemy. Out of bondage where I can't be touched, without fear, within your love. Rushing in, they have surrounded us. Thorns on fire, hot and gone like us. All the nations, they're closing in, pushed me hard. I was falling, God stepped in and He picked me up. In the name of the Lord, I will cut them off. Oh, let Israel say, His love is forever. Let the house of